Kale hurried through the crowded market, carrying a stack of small packages. His boots clicked against a metal walkway, and his breath came in short bursts. He had promised the clients that the deliveries would be on time, and he hated being late. The market was always busy, but today it seemed even worse. Aliens of all shapes and sizes jostled around him. Carts rattled, and vendors shouted over the noise, advertising strange foods, rare crystals, and mechanical gadgets. Kale turned a corner too quickly and collided with something, or rather, someone. His packages flew into the air, scattering in all directions. Kale stumbled back, nearly falling himself, and looked up in horror. A huge figure loomed over him. Scales shimmered in bronze and gold, glinting under the city lights. Massive wings were folded neatly on its back, but even folded, they made the creature appear enormous. Sharp claws gripped the edge of a nearby cart, and golden eyes studied him with an intensity that made Kale's stomach twist. I'm so sorry, Kale stammered, bowing slightly. I wasn't looking. The figure leaned down closer. The scent of smoke and metal filled the air. You weren't looking, it said in a deep, smooth voice that rumbled like distant thunder. Yet you nearly destroyed a very rare artifact. Kale's eyes widened as he glanced at the toppled cart. A small crystal orb had rolled onto the floor, spinning and glowing faintly. He had almost crushed it with his boots. I can pay for it. The dragon warrior's lips curled into something that looked suspiciously like a smirk. Pay for it, it said low and amused. You think that will be enough? Kale swallowed. The massive creature's gaze made his chest tight. I don't know. I can go get credits or... No, the dragon said, stepping back slightly, wings stretching a little. I do not want credits. Kale blinked. You don't? No, the dragon said again. Then, unexpectedly, it leaned down even closer, lowering its head so that their eyes were nearly level. I want something more interesting. Kale froze. And more interesting? Yes, the dragon said, voice playful now. You. Kale felt his cheeks burn. He had expected a fine, maybe a lecture, perhaps even a punishment. Not this. Not flirtation. I don't understand, he stammered. The dragon chuckled softly, a low, rolling sound that vibrated in Kale's chest. I will make it simple. You will accompany me to the Council of Dragon Warriors. You will answer for your carelessness. But along the way, I expect your company, your conversation, your charm. Kale's jaw dropped. My charm. Yes, the dragon said, golden eyes twinkling. We shall see if you have any. Kale looked around, hoping someone would explain that this was some sort of misunderstanding. But the market continued bustling, oblivious of the drama in the corner. He swallowed hard and nodded. Okay, I guess. The dragon extended a claw. Kale hesitated, then placed his hand on it. Feeling the heat from the scales beneath, the sensation made him jump slightly, and the dragon's deep rumbling laugh echoed around them. Careful, it said. Do not step on my patience. It is rarer than these crystals. Kale nodded quickly, trying to ignore the way his heart was racing. He had faced late deliveries, angry clients, and even a few street scuffles. But nothing like this. Nothing like a dragon warrior who flirted with him while threatening consequences. Come, the dragon said finally, straightening up. Its wings stretched slightly, causing a gentle gust that ruffled Kale's hair. The council awaits, and I grow impatient. Kale stumbled along beside the dragon, trying to keep pace. Its long legs moved effortlessly over the crowded walkways. He almost tripped several times, and each time the dragon chuckled softly. You are nervous, it said, voice low and amused. Do you always fear those much larger than yourself? Kale swallowed hard. I guess I do. The dragon tilted its head. Good. Then you will understand the value of courage by the time we reach the council. Kale's mind raced. Courage. He had always thought himself as responsible, but brave? Not really. Not when compared to a being that could crush him in an instant. They passed stalls selling alien fruits that glowed softly, robotic pets that walked on multiple legs, and merchants haggling over floating crystals. Despite the chaos. Kale's attention kept returning to the dragon beside him. Its presence was commanding, its movements confident. Yet there was a strange warmth in the way it spoke. The teasing words, the smirk, the playful tone, it was maddening. Kale tried to think of a response. I'm usually good with words, you know, he said, almost laughing nervously. The dragon glanced down at him. Do you now? We shall test that theory. Kale's stomach flipped. Test? For words? From a flirtatious dragon? He felt outmatched, overwhelmed, and somehow intrigued all at once. Finally, they reached a massive set of gates, far taller than any human could reach. The dragon's golden eyes scanned the area, and Kale realized this was only the beginning of whatever was about to unfold. You may survive this, the dragon said softly, almost teasing, if you are clever and charming and perhaps a little bold. Kale swallowed hard. He had no idea what the council would be like, what challenges awaited him, or why the dragon seemed so interested in his reaction. But one thing was clear. His day had started with deliveries, and now he was about to face something far more dangerous and far more fascinating than anything he had ever imagined. As the dragon stepped forward, Kale followed, wondering if he would survive, and secretly hoping he might not entirely regret it. Kale's legs shook as he followed the dragon through the twisting streets of the market city. Every few steps, someone stared, some in awe and some in fear. The dragon's size and shimmering scales made it impossible to ignore. Kale tried to keep his eyes forward, but he kept sneaking glances at the golden eyes that watched him closely, filled with amusement. So, the dragon said, voice low and smooth, do you often find yourself in trouble, little human? Kale swallowed. Not usually. I try to be careful. Clearly, the dragon said, wings flicking slightly, careful enough to ruin a rare artifact. Kale flinched, glancing at the broken crystal orb he had almost crushed. I didn't mean to. The dragon chuckled softly. Intentions matter little. Action is what counts. And now, you must answer for it. Kale's stomach dropped. Answer, how? You will accompany me to the Council of Dragon Warriors, the dragon said. There, they will judge your carelessness, and I will observe. Kale's heart skipped. A Council of Dragon Warriors? He imagined enormous, fearsome dragons with scales like armor and eyes like molten gold. And he, a small human, was supposed to face them? Wait, what if they don't like me? He asked nervously. The dragon tilted his head, a teasing smile on his face. Then I will ensure you survive, if you are clever enough. Kale blinked. Clever enough? Survive? I just wanted to apologize. The dragon laughed, a deep rumble that shook Kale slightly. Apology is not enough. You must prove yourself. But do not worry, this will be entertaining. Kale tried to think about what entertaining meant, but before he could respond, the dragon led him toward the gates of the council chambers. The streets gave way to a wide, open plaza lined with statues of dragons, warriors in bronze and silver, their eyes glowing faintly. Other dragons moved gracefully through the area, some practicing combat, others deep in discussion. Kale felt small, tiny compared to their size. Stay close, the dragon said. Observe. Listen. You will learn more from my presence than you think. Kale nodded, though his stomach churned. He tried to look confident, but every step he took felt heavy. As they approached the massive doors of the council, the dragon leaned down slightly. Remember, he said quietly, words and actions will both be judged. Charm and courage may weigh more than size or strength. Do you understand? Kale swallowed hard. I think so. The dragon smirked. We shall see. The doors opened with a low rumble, and Kale was suddenly aware of the enormous chamber inside. Dragons of all sizes sat or stood around a circular platform, their scales glittering under soft light. Their eyes turned toward him immediately, golden and silver gleaming in judgment. He felt a wave of fear wash over him. The dragon nudged him gently forward. Step on the platform. Introduce yourself. Make them understand you are not just a careless human. Kale's knees trembled as he stepped forward. I'm Kale, he said. His voice shook. I am a courier, and The council watched silently, eyes piercing. Kale swallowed again. I did not mean to damage the artifact. The dragon beside him gave a low chuckle. Speak slowly. Make them hear the truth, and make them enjoy it. Kale blinked. Enjoy it? He tried again. I am sorry for what I did. I value life and items, and I never meant harm. I promise to do better and learn from this mistake. A few council members nodded slightly, but Kale still felt the weight of their scrutiny. Then one of the larger dragons leaned forward. Words are easy. Action is harder. Are you ready for the test, human? Kale gulped. Test. The dragon beside him leaned close. Yes, you must prove your courage and cleverness. I will guide you, but the effort must be yours. The council moved aside, revealing a series of platforms, ropes, and mechanical devices. An obstacle course of sorts, meant to challenge strength, balance, and wit. Kale's eyes widened. He had never done anything like this in his life. Step carefully, the dragon whispered, brushing Kale's shoulder lightly with his claw. The touch was warm, reassuring. I will watch your every move. Fear is expected. Bravery is earned. Kale nodded, heart pounding. He stepped onto the first platform. It wobbled under his weight, and he nearly fell. The dragon's wings flicked, steadying the air, and Kale regained his balance. Good, the dragon murmured. Now think, move wisely. As Kale progressed, the dragon offered subtle guidance, words of encouragement, hints, and occasionally teasing remarks that made Kale's face heat. Careful, human. You may stumble, but try not to make it look foolish. Kale smiled nervously. I'll try. With each step, he gained confidence. He dodged swinging pendulums, climbed rope ladders, and crossed narrow beams. The dragon stayed close, observing, sometimes whispering teasing comments that left Kale flustered. By the time Kale reached the final platform, he was exhausted, trembling, but triumphant. The dragon's golden eyes gleamed with pride and amusement. Well done, he said. You may have more courage than I expected. Kale panted, his chest heaving. Thank you. The dragon leaned closer, voice soft but teasing. Do not thank me yet, little human. This is only the beginning. Charm and wit may yet be required to impress the council further. Kale groaned, realizing the challenge was far from over. But beneath the exhaustion, a spark of excitement burned. The dragon warrior was unpredictable, bold, and strangely charming, and Kale found himself wanting to rise to every test, even if it made him nervous. The council watched silently, some nodding in approval, some curious. Kale glanced at them and then at the dragon beside him. Somehow, he felt a strange mixture of fear, admiration, and anticipation. The dragon's smirk returned. You may have survived the physical trial. Now comes the trial of the mind, and perhaps the heart. Kale blinked. Heart. The dragon laughed softly, the sound rumbling through the chamber. Yes, human. Charm, courage, and cleverness. That is the true challenge. Kale took a deep breath and prepared himself. He had survived the first test. Now he had to survive the dragon's teasing and the council's judgment. And maybe, just maybe, he would discover he could be braver than he ever imagined. Kale's legs shook as he stepped onto the platform before the council. The first trial was set before him, a combination of physical challenges and puzzles. He looked at the dragon warrior beside him, Zephyros, who towered over him with golden scales shining in the chamber lights. You will need more than speed and strength, Zephyros said, voice low but teasing. You must think human. Use your mind as well as your hands. Kale swallowed hard. I'll try. The first challenge was simple to describe, but not simple to do. Several floating platforms hovered over a deep pit, glowing faintly. A path of small, moving stones crossed a gap, but one wrong step would send him plummeting. Kale glanced down, feeling his stomach twist. Step carefully, Zephyros murmured. And remember, think before you move. Kale nodded, heart hammering. He took a deep breath and leapt onto the first stone. It wobbled, threatening to tip, but he caught himself. Step by step, he moved across, focusing on balance and timing. Zephyros followed beside him, wings partly extended, occasionally guiding the air to steady the platform with gentle gusts. "You are steadier than I thought," Zephyros said, a hint of admiration in his voice. "Perhaps there is hope for you yet." Kale felt a small thrill of pride, but there was no time to relax. The next section involved climbing a rotating rope ladder, suspended over the same pit. Kale's arms ached as he climbed, muscles trembling from fear and effort. "Use your legs as well as your arms," Zephyros advised. "Strength is important, but efficiency is smarter." Kale followed the advice, moving with more balance. Halfway up, one rope snapped slightly under his weight. He froze, gripping with all his strength. Zephyros' wing brushed against him, stabilizing the ladder with a gust. "You see," Zephyros said softly, "even the smallest help can make a difference. Accept it when offered." Kale nodded, his heart racing. By the time he reached the top, he was panting, but he had made it. The council watched silently, some nodding, others whispering to each other. Kale felt eyes on him, and the weight of their scrutiny made his stomach twist. The third trial was more mental. A series of glowing symbols floated in the air before him, shifting and rearranging themselves. The council spoke in unison. "Arrange the sequence correctly. Solve it or your journey ends." Kale stepped forward cautiously. The symbols pulsed, almost alive. He frowned, trying to remember patterns he had seen in training as a courier. Letters, numbers, shapes, all jumbled together. Zephyros leaned closer, voice quiet but teasing. "Focus, human. You are cleverer than you look. Or at least, I hope you are." Kale flushed at the comment. I think I can do this," he whispered. He reached out and touched the symbol. It shifted, glowing brighter. Step by step, he rearranged them, listening to the council's subtle cues and Zephyros' hints. The final symbol clicked into place, and the sequence lit up, confirming the solution. "Impressive," Zephyros said, a faint smirk curling his lips. "Brains as well as courage. Well done." Kale exhaled, relief washing over him. But there was one final test, a combat demonstration. He was not to fight Zephyros, but he had to show quick reflexes and strategy against mechanical drones that simulated attacks. Kale's heart raced as the first drone shot forward, blade spinning. He ducked, then rolled, barely avoiding a strike. "Think, don't panic," Zephyros said. "The smallest observation can turn the tide." Kale noticed a weak joint in the drone's movement and aimed a strike with a training baton. Sparks flew as it staggered, giving him a chance to knock it off balance. Step by step, he managed to disable each drone. His body ached, but his mind stayed alert. Zephyros observed silently, his eyes gleaming with pride and something else Kale could not name. By the time the trial ended, Kale was sweating, exhausted and trembling, but victorious. "Remarkable," Zephyros said finally. "You have passed the trials of strength and wit. The council will take note." Kale's legs wobbled. I did it." Zephyros leaned closer, lowering his massive head to Kale's level. "You did more than survive. You learned. You adapted. You impressed me." Kale's face burned at the unexpected praise. "I thank you," he said softly. Zephyros' smirk returned, playful and teasing. "Do not thank me yet. There are still lessons to learn. Charm and courage will be tested further. And perhaps your heart as well." Kale blinked. His heart pounded, not just from the trials, but from the strange thrill of standing beside the dragon, being noticed and admired. Somehow, Zephyros' teasing and confidence had lit a spark within him. The council stepped forward, nodding in approval. "The human has potential," one said. "Not many could pass these trials." Kale looked at Zephyros, whose golden eyes glimmered like fire. "Potential," Zephyros murmured. "Yes, that is exactly what I see." Kale swallowed hard. Potential. He had never thought of himself that way. And yet, standing here, facing a dragon warrior, surviving trials that should have been impossible, he felt something shift inside him. Zephyros' smirk softened into a faint, approving smile. "Rest now, human. Tomorrow we continue. There is more for you to learn and more for you to show." Kale nodded, still catching his breath, feeling a mixture of pride, excitement, and nervous anticipation. He had survived the trials. He had learned courage, and he had discovered, for the first time, that maybe, just maybe, he could be more than he ever imagined. Kale followed Zephyros through the quiet halls of the Dragon Council chambers. The trials were over for the day, but the golden-eyed dragon had not left his side. Kale's legs ached, and his hands trembled from the strain of the obstacles. But something inside him buzzed with curiosity and excitement. "You performed better than I expected," Zephyros said, voice soft, almost thoughtful. "Few humans could match wit with courage. Yet you did." Kale glanced up, feeling a mix of pride and disbelief. I just did what I had to do." Zephyros chuckled softly, the sound like distant rolling thunder. "Modesty suits you, human, but there is more to learn about courage than what you saw today." Kale frowned. "More?" "Yes," Zephyros said, wings folding as he settled near a glowing pool of light. "You may think dragons are simple creatures of strength, fear, and power, but there are layers, as there are with humans. My life is not as simple as you imagine." Kale's curiosity was piqued. "Your life?" Zephyros' golden eyes darkened slightly. "I have fought wars, faced betrayal, and carried burdens that would crush many. I wear charm and humor as a shield, not just for others, but for myself. Humans rarely see the side of us." Kale swallowed, thinking of the playful teasing, the flirtation, the challenges he had endured. He had sensed there was more beneath the surface, and now Zephyros confirmed it. I never knew," he said softly. Zephyros nodded. "Few know. Many fear what they do not understand. But I see courage in you. Perhaps that is why I linger with you." Kale's cheeks warmed. "Why? Why would you care about me?" The dragon lowered his massive head closer. "Because human. There is value in observing how one untested by power responds to challenge. You are clever, brave, and unexpectedly thoughtful. It is rare to see such qualities in one so small, and it intrigues me." Kale blinked, feeling a strange mixture of nervousness and pride. "I never thought I could impress a dragon warrior." Zephyros let out a low, amused rumble. "Impress? Perhaps. Or perhaps you simply remind me that courage is not measured by size or strength. Humans have surprises, even when they think they do not." Kale looked down, unsure what to say. He felt exposed, as if the dragon had seen more than his actions, perhaps into his heart. I just want to do the right thing," he whispered. Zephyros' eyes softened. "And that is why you survive, human. Many fail, because they think of themselves first. You think of others, even when it terrifies you." For a moment, they walked in silence, the glow of the chamber reflecting off Zephyros' scales. Kale noticed small scars along the dragon's limbs, subtle and precise, telling of battles fought long ago. Each scar seemed to speak of sacrifice, loyalty, and strength tempered with wisdom. "You have scars," Kale said, pointing slightly. "From fighting?" Zephyros inclined his head. "Yes. Battles that required more than strength, ones that demanded patience, observation, and decisions that weigh on the soul. A warrior is not only measured by victories, but by how they endure the consequences of those choices." Kale nodded slowly, understanding a little more. "I guess you've been tested too, like me?" "Yes," Zephyros replied. "But the tests are different. You have your courage to awaken. I have my past to bear. And together, perhaps, we teach each other something neither could learn alone." Kale swallowed, feeling the truth of the words. He had thought this dragon was only flirtatious, playful, and intimidating. But now he saw Zephyros as a being with depth, history, and care hidden behind the teasing words. "And yet," Zephyros said, his golden eyes twinkling again, "I still expect your charm to grow. Courage alone is not enough when dealing with dragon warriors. Wit and spirit are required." Kale laughed nervously, shaking his head. "I'll do my best. I guess I have no choice." Zephyros leaned closer, so close Kale could feel the heat from his scales. "Do not think of it as a choice. Think of it as an opportunity. You are learning human, and perhaps, in the process, teaching me as well." Kale blinked. "Teaching you?" "Yes," Zephyros said, voice soft but teasing. Even the strongest warrior can learn from the smallest companion. Bravery comes in forms one may not expect. Kale's heart raced, not from fear this time, but from the strange thrill of connection. He had expected only punishment, only a fine. Instead, he found himself standing beside a powerful dragon who was patient, observant, and even encouraging. They stopped near a quiet corner, and Zephyros lowered his wings. Rest now, human. Tomorrow, the final judgment awaits. You will face more than obstacles or puzzles. You will face questions of heart and mind. Are you ready for that? Kale nodded, still catching his breath, feeling a strange mix of fear and anticipation. I'll try. Zephyros' smirk returned, gentle but teasing. Good. Courage, wit, and heart. Remember these. Human. They will guide you farther than strength ever could. Kale watched as Zephyros' golden eyes softened, revealing a hint of warmth beneath the teasing and playfulness. For the first time, he saw the dragon not only as a formidable warrior, but as a being capable of care and respect. Thank you, Kale whispered, almost to himself. Zephyros chuckled softly. Do not thank me yet. The final trial is yet to come, and only then will you see if you have truly grown. Kale took a deep breath, feeling the weight of the lessons learned and the promise of challenges ahead. He realized something important. Strength alone could not save him. Wit, courage, and heart were the keys, and perhaps the dragon beside him held more guidance than he had ever imagined. As they left the quiet chamber and moved toward the hall where the final judgment awaited, Kale felt ready. Almost. The hidden depth of Zephyros' past and character had revealed a new path, and Kale understood that this adventure was not just about surviving, but discovering what humans could achieve, even when measured against a dragon warrior. Kale followed Zephyros to the grand doors of the council hall, his heart pounding with nerves and excitement. The room was filled with dragons of all sizes, some sitting on elevated platforms, others pacing with quiet authority. Their eyes glimmered like molten gold and silver, watching Kale carefully. He felt small and out of place, but he reminded himself of the lessons from the trials. Courage, wit, and heart. You are ready. Zephyros sat quietly beside him, his deep voice rumbling with a mix of amusement and pride. Now, show them what you have learned. Kale took a deep breath and stepped onto the central platform. He straightened his shoulders, trying to appear confident even though his legs trembled. The council dragons remained silent, their gaze steady and piercing. One of the elder dragons spoke, its voice echoing through the hall. Human, you have survived the trials of wit and strength. Yet there remains one question. Do you have the wisdom and heart to understand true courage? Kale swallowed hard. I think I do, he said, his voice firm despite the flutter in his chest. I've learned that courage isn't just about fighting. It's about standing up even when you're afraid. It's about thinking, about helping others, and doing what is right. A murmur passed through the council. Zephyros' eyes gleamed with approval, and Kale felt a surge of confidence. He realized that he was no longer just a human under scrutiny. He was someone who had proven himself in the eyes of beings far stronger than him. Very well. Another dragon said, wings folding neatly. You have shown bravery, cleverness, and heart. But more than that, you have shown respect, even to one who teased and challenged you. Kale blinked, glancing at Zephyros. The golden-eyed dragon lowered his massive head, so it was almost level with Kale's, giving a small, approving nod. Yes, Zephyros said softly, his voice carrying warmth. You have learned quickly, and you have earned my respect. Kale felt a mixture of pride and relief. He had expected punishment, perhaps even humiliation, but instead, he had gained recognition. His chest swelled with an unfamiliar but thrilling feeling, respect from being far greater than himself. The council dragons whispered among themselves, some nodding in agreement, others silent but clearly impressed. Kale realized that he had not only survived the trials, but he had also earned the admiration of those who once seemed impossible to impress. Zephyros stepped closer, his wings casting a gentle shadow over Kale. Do you understand now, human? He asked, voice low and teasing. Courage and wit are valuable, but the heart changes everything. Kale nodded, feeling a warmth spread through him. I understand, he said softly. I think I do. Zephyros' smirk returned, playful as ever. Good. Remember this feeling, Kale. You have faced the impossible and come out stronger. There is more ahead and perhaps more challenges that will test not just your body and mind, but your character. Kale's eyes widened slightly. More challenges? Yes, Zephyros replied. But now you're not alone. I will be watching, guiding when necessary, and perhaps teasing when appropriate. Kale laughed nervously, feeling a strange sense of comfort in the dragon's words. The teasing that had once made him flustered now felt like part of a connection he had come to appreciate. He realized that this dragon, who had seemed so fearsome and unpredictable, had become an unexpected ally. The council dragons began to move aside, allowing Zephyros and Kale to step down from the platform. You have proven yourself, the elder dragon said. Not many humans could achieve this. Take your place among those who have shown true courage. Kale felt his heart swell. He had expected fines, tests, and perhaps humiliation, but instead he had gained something far more valuable: respect, friendship, and trust. The golden-eyed dragon beside him gave a small nod, and Kale felt a sense of pride he had never known. As they walked out of the council chamber together, Zephyros' wing brushed against Kale in a gentle, protective gesture. You have grown human. Do not forget this day. I won't, Kale said, smiling. Thank you for everything. Zephyros chuckled, the sound rolling like distant thunder. Do not thank me too quickly. The journey is just beginning. But yes, you've done well. Kale glanced up at the massive dragon, feeling a mix of awe and admiration. The teasing, flirtatious behavior that had initially confused him now seemed part of a bond he had come to trust. He expected fear, but he had found guidance, challenge, and something more, a connection that transcended size, species, and expectation. The city outside the council hall stretched before them, alive with movement, color, and sound. Kale realized that his life had changed in ways he could not have imagined. A human, small and seemingly ordinary, had faced a dragon warrior, survived trials meant to intimidate and test, and emerged respected. Zephyros turned his head, golden eyes gleaming. Remember, human, the world is full of surprises. Courage, wit, and heart are your greatest tools. Never doubt that. Kale nodded, feeling a surge of determination. I won't. As they walked into the bustling streets together, Kale felt the thrill of possibility. He had faced a dragon, been tested, and emerged stronger. But more than that, he had learned that humans, even small and unassuming, could earn respect, friendship, and triumph in ways no one expected. Zephyros glanced down at him, a playful glint in his eyes. And perhaps, he said softly, even a human can teach a dragon a thing or two. Kale smiled, feeling a warmth of pride and excitement. The day had begun with fear, confusion, and expectation of punishment. It ended with triumph, trust, and an unexpected bond between a human and a dragon warrior. He realized that respect and friendship, earned through courage and heart, were far more powerful than any challenge or test. For the first time, Kale understood that humans could face the impossible, and not just survive, but triumph. And as he walked beside Zephyros, he knew this was only the beginning of a remarkable journey, one where courage, cleverness, and heart would guide him through challenges he had never imagined.